I've spent 30 days with the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller, and here's the truth, it feels incredible in ways I didn't expect, but also it has some weird design choices that no one's really talking about, from the mapped back buttons to the ridiculous battery life, and a few hidden flaws. This is everything I've learned, the good, the bad, and what Nintendo isn't telling you on the box. First impressions, this thing feels good. If you've ever used the Google Stadia controller before that whole thing went bust, the texture here is really similar on the controller, smooth, comfortable, and very premium. And I actually like the Stadia controller a lot, so this is a compliment. Also in the box, you're getting a USB-C charging cable to charge the controller through the USB-C port at the top. And there's a manual, which, let's be honest, you will never read. It's all fine if I'm being picky. Since this is a Pro controller, it would have been really nice to see some kind of carry case included, don't you think? Now let's talk about comfort. This thing nails it. It's got the asymmetric Xbox style stick layout. Some people prefer that over the symmetrical PlayStation sticks. I'm not fussed either way as long as it's comfortable, and here it's super comfy in the hand and fits perfectly in your hands. The analog sticks, genuinely some of the best I've ever used. These things are buttery smooth, there's a great texture, satisfying tension, they are better than the Joy-Cons by miles. So any games where accuracy is key, like FPS games, you are going to want to use the Pro controller instead of the Joy-Cons. Now, dare I say it, the Switch 2 Pro controller has possibly the best feeling analog sticks on any controller I've ever used. High praise indeed, but you need to pick one of these up and test it out for yourself. You will see what I mean right away. The buttons feel soft but responsive. They're bigger and much easier to press than the Joy-Con buttons, thankfully. The D-pad, it's fine. It's great for menus and general use, but I do wish it had more of a classic NES style shape, especially for fighting games. And the triggers, yeah, they're clicky and feel decent, but no analog control, just on or off. A bit of a miss for racing games. I would really have liked to have seen that, especially again, because it's a Pro controller. Speaking of racing games, I tested this with Fast Fusion, Mario Kart World, and a whole bunch of other games like Donkey Kong Bonanza, Metroid Prime Remastered, Cyberpunk 2077, X-Morph Defense, Vampire Survivors, and even some old school Soul Calibur and Wave Race 64. Everything felt tight, responsive, and consistent. Exactly what you want from a Pro controller experience. Especially for racers and shooters, Metroid Prime felt super precise, and for Fast Fusion, the control was smooth and snappy. Bonus tip here though, if you're playing something like Fortnite docked on the big screen, this controller gives you a real edge. It's far more comfortable and accurate than Joy-Cons, which is the first big plus, and mapping jump or crouch to the back buttons means your thumbs never leave the sticks. This is a big advantage when you're in a battle with someone online and, you'll just be that bit sharper with your aiming because you're not moving your fingers off the stick to press one of the jump buttons. It's a big win. This was also great in Fast Fusion. I mapped the back buttons for changing the spaceship's boost. It was really good, really helpful. Now let's get on to some key features they don't advertise enough. First up, HD Rumble. It's not quite on PlayStation 5 DualSense level, but it's really close. The haptic feedback is sharp, detailed, and satisfying. Feels really good. In Metroid Prime, it actually gave me throwback vibes to trying the Rumble pack on the N64 for the first time, Star Fox style. But the real superpower, battery life. Nintendo barely mentions it, but this thing goes up to 40 hours on a single charge. Compare that to like the PlayStation controller, it might last you like 5 hours if you're lucky. This is just wild. I've actually charged this only once in the last 30 days. It just keeps going and going. It's literally the Energizer Bunny of Pro controllers. Now, for my favourite feature, the back buttons. These aren't just stuck on afterthoughts, they're very well placed. easy to hit and incredibly useful. You actually don't even feel like you need to press them where they are. You can just gently squeeze the leg, I guess you could call it, or the handle on the controller, and it will activate. It is really good. They're also not too sensitive, so you won't accidentally hit them. And here's what I love most about them. You can map them individually per game. So set them up for fast fusion and it remembers what you configured. Then jump into Fortnite, set a new layout. It keeps that too. No remapping every time. This is a proper quality of life upgrade and the way to do back buttons in my opinion. Honestly, once you get used to playing with back buttons, it's really hard to go back to a controller which doesn't have them. Like, I genuinely cannot play Fortnite at all without back buttons. They're that essential. Remapping is super simple too. All you need to do is hold the back button down for a few seconds, pick your button layout, and you're done. You can even do this mid-match. It is so quick and simple to do. Oh, and if back buttons are all you're really after and you're on a bit of a budget, the Switch 2 Joy-Con charging grip also has back buttons, and I'll cover that off in an upcoming video, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. There's also a 3.5mm headphone jack on the bottom of the controller, something we've never actually had on a Nintendo official controller before, which is kind of wild. It's taken all this time, but it's here, so let's be happy about it. This is perfect for gaming on the sofa without annoying everyone else in the room with your game audio. Just plug in your headphones or your earbuds and you're good to go. Nice and simple. You've also got amiibo support, motion controls, though motion controls, I would advise you still go for Joy-Cons for motion heavy games instead of using the Pro Controller. And you've also got the new C button for party chat. But here's where that gets kind of weird. This chat feature, it's free at launch, but it will be locked behind a Nintendo Switch Online subscription soon. So if you're not subscribed, the C button becomes kind of useless, but good news for you, you're here watching this video, so you will learn that you can just remap it. I recommend mapping it to gameplay capture, way more useful, and it's in a nice spot just to capture gameplay. And speaking of the spot where this is on the controller, if it looks off center on the controller to you, it's not. It just appears that way due to the layout of the D-pad and the left stick. Kind of strange, but your eyes are not deceiving you. That is just where it's living on the controller. Now, what is missing from this? I've been saying a lot of positive stuff here, but what could have taken this to the next level? One thing would have been Hall effect sticks. Would have been great to avoid long-term stick drift. Analog triggers would have helped racing games massively also. And honestly, I'd love to see more colourful designs. Right now, it's just grey on black. I mean, it's a really light grey here. Even something that matched the Switch 2's red and blue theme would have been more fun. And speaking about the colours of this as well, that was one of my criticisms of the Switch 2 console in my review, which you can check out. I'll leave it linked down below in the description. But it's just kind of bland looking. It doesn't have that Nintendo pop of fun and colour. But yeah, you know Nintendo is going to release special editions of this soon so they can get more money out of us. But that would have been some really nice updates I would have liked to have seen, especially the Hall effect sticks. We know there's been lots of Nintendo joystick drift controversy, shall we say, over the years with the Switch 1. So let's see how this holds out. I'll do an updated review further down the line, but right now it's going awesome. Also, if you were thinking about grabbing the original Pro Controller to save some money, here's a warning. It won't wake your Switch 2 from sleep. That's a big one, because if you're sitting on the couch playing your Switch 2 and it's went to sleep, you want to just press the button on your controller and then you're into the game. You don't want to have to be going over and actually turning your Switch on to wake it up and then using your controller. It also doesn't have the C button for chat, which may or may not be a big deal for you if you're going to use chat features a lot, maybe in Mario Kart or something like that. There's no headphone jack as well on the bottom of the controller, which I think is a really good thing to have. So yeah, this is a bit of an upgrade and well worth getting for Switch 2 over the Switch 1 original model. So here's the truth. This is one of the best controllers I've ever used. Honestly, I was shocked. and it's easily the best Nintendo's ever made. It's not just a minor refresh, the battery life and the back buttons alone make this a must-have for players playing their Switch 2 in docked mode. Is it perfect? No. But unless you need Hall effect sticks or analog triggers, this will be spot on for 99% of Switch 2 players. And for £75 in the UK or $85 in the US, you compare that price to the £200 you'd pay for a DualSense Edge or like an Xbox Elite controller, and this thing starts to look like a bit of a bargain. I love it, and unless something better comes along, this is the controller I'll be using going forward on my Switch 2. Now, if you're using your Switch 2 in handheld mode a lot also, there's something else you'll need: a proper protective case and more. Tap here to see what I'm using right now to keep my Switch 2 safe.